Picking back up at the gas station in Act 4. Act 4, Scene 2. A gas station. We cut it close. I usually find this place upriver. Everybody's on the lake tonight. The gas station moves around. Sure, it's not anchored or anything. Could be anywhere up and down the Echo. You just kind of run into it when you need it, or hopefully a little before you need it. Do you want to get out? I'll let you out. You gotta just stay in or out though, okay? In like 5 minutes, she's gonna want to come right back in. Maybe less than 5 minutes, who knows? But very soon, I expect. I usually stop here once a night, though, to be honest, I'm not sure it's even the same one. It doesn't have a name or anything, and I never really pay attention to who's behind the counter. Anyway, it's nice to see you two. Most of my regular passengers must have gotten held up elsewhere in their journey tonight. It's that storm, I think. Watching Ezra sprint past. Look at him go. That kid has a lot of energy. It's got to be past his bedtime or something, right? I don't think he has a bedtime. He's a maverick. Sounds familiar. You don't have any of your own, I mean. No, I guess not. I just realized. You two come through here so often, we chat about all kinds of stuff, but I never thought to ask about family. We're all the family we need. That's sweet. So, how about that storm upstairs? Did you two get caught in it? I heard it kind of roamed around, uncertain. I'm sure we'll hear all about it tomorrow. Flooding, property damage, probably killed a few tomatoes. It's got the river churning and everyone headed to the lake here, where the water's calmer. I myself don't mind navigating a choppy river, not at all. I've got a good feel for it. Plus, it's better for fungal growth. High water consumes the cave moths, and their wet wings clump together into these little balls of nutrient-dense mushroom food, jammed by current here and there between the rocks. You've never seen a mushroom grow like on a soggy cave moth carcass. Ew. Amazing. If I could get a day off, Val and I would be out there all day tomorrow to harvest. I mean it. They'll be ready by tomorrow. A mushroom will grow just as fast as you can pump water into it. Hey, are you two headed out this way tomorrow? Maybe I could send Val ashore with you for a few hours. She's got a remarkable nose for mushrooms. You don't even need to know what to look for. Put a bag around her neck and she'll just bring them back to you. Who's Val? Is that this dog? Yeah. We don't know where we'll be tomorrow. I should have figured. Seems you two are always on the move. It does seem that way. Silence. So, I should get back aboard. No rush. I just want to brew some tea before we get underway. Headed into the station? Thought I'd grab some black coffee for the old man. He's looking a bit waterlogged. Sure, don't want him falling asleep on you. Nah, he'll be all right. He seems like the type who can hold his liquor. Seems like he has a little experience, I mean. Hey, while you're in there, could you remind the gas station attendant this fuel is on my tab? Charged to the Mucky Mammoth. Oh, and Will wanted a scratch ticket. Thanks. I think I'll just watch the lake for a bit, ma'am. Looking for crystals? Why do you assume I'm looking for crystals? We've got them on sale. All kinds of folks come in here looking for crystals. There's a few over there with milky white shocks through the middle, like you caught a piece of a cloud. People seem to like those a lot. Yep. Popular crystals. You work on the mammoth? I can add it to your tab. I'm a passenger. Sure, I should have guessed. You have the posture of someone on their way to somewhere. I have it too. I just stand here behind the counter and nobody affords me any greater importance than a spiderweb brushed out of the way. I've learned to cherish it. There's dignity in being forgotten, letting the crowd flow around you unspoiled. It's kind of sad, but also kind of profound and a little beautiful, I think. I used to live in a city. I mean, a real city. Cleveland, Ohio. I had some family money then, and I didn't have to work. I lived in hotels. In daylight, I walked wherever the people were. My only duty was to the crowd. I was its observer, its historian, its detective, its poet. Well, the money ran out, and I dispersed with the rest of them. I took my duties with me here to Lake Lethe, and the Echo River. I live behind this counter, anonymous, invisible, but I live with dignity. And yourself? Sure, something like that. I like to keep moving. Yeah, that's the way to do it. I can't help it myself. I travel at the pleasure of the current. We keep all the crystals on that shelf over there. Buy one, get one free, of equal or lesser symmetry. The crystals are rough, dirty. Some are damp. They must have come out of the river. Johnny seemed distant. He was excited about Kate's dog, too. Junebug tries to scrape some green algae off a larger specimen, examining it for the kind of cloudy inner formation the attendant said was so popular. What would it be like to travel with one more? K-Y-U, and a few numbers are woven through the algae. It may be best just to ask him what's on his mind. This isn't algae at all. It's a decayed plastic bag caught on the rock. Shit, that floodwater washed you halfway up out to sea. I was looking for you down by the new Königsberg, same as usual, but ain't nobody there, and the river's deep as an elephant's. Oh, didn't see you there, ma'am. Pardon my language. What, elephant? Haha, alright, you're no paper flower, I can see that. Extending his hand warmly. I expect you must be Loretta. Enchanted to meet you. Sorry I'm late. Hey, is that coming on too flowery or something? Enchanted? Repeating it now, I feel a little silly. Enchanted sounds pretty old-fashioned. Is that the kind of gal Loretta is? I guess I don't know. But now I'm double embarrassed. Do I look like her? To be truthful, I couldn't tell you. I met Loretta on the computer. We met each other there, I mean. Or, I guess, we spoke through the computer and agreed to meet? I don't know the terminology. I haven't dated in quite a while. Back when I met Greta, that's my wife. Excuse me, my ex, or maybe I am her ex? I don't know how to say it. Anyway, back then there wasn't even such a thing as computers at all. I mean, I guess there probably was, but I never heard of one. I worked in textiles. So here I am. So what's your plan when Loretta shows up? Oh, maybe head down to the rum colony. Shoot, I forgot to ask if she likes to drink. You really never know these days. I guess first I'd ask her about that. If she doesn't like rum, I'd maybe try to take her by the bat sanctuary. That's pretty romantic in a sense. I mean, like misty valleys and ruined churches romantic, not like flowers and chocolates romantic. Of course, they've got that memorial there. That's a little depressing, actually. Maybe we'd kind of sail around that. Damn it all, I guess I probably missed her. I wonder if she'll agree to meet me again. I'm sure she'll understand with the weather and all. Nice of you to say so. Well, I guess I'll head on back. Hey, supposing Loretta doesn't want to see me after all? My card is full. Oh, no, sorry, that's not what I meant. Actually, I wanted to ask you for some advice. I had to type up a sort of autobiography for the computer date, and I spent a lot of time on it, but I only got one reply, and that was Loretta herself. I was happy to meet her, but supposing she's lost interest now. Hello, Jeremy. My week's been okay. Lots of stuff going on at work, so I'm just a little worn out and busy. But other than that, I've been doing good. How about you? How's your week going? Good to see you. Do you think you could maybe give me some feedback? It's only a paragraph or so. I have it all memorized. I spent so damn long writing it. Okay, here's how it goes. Going well, lots of motor riding in the heat. Ooh, but vineyard's looking good. That's good. Vineyards in, if I remember correctly, Napa. Yeah. I wonder how hot it is there compared to here. Where I am, it's been like 95, 100. Been very hot. Yeah, California in general. Yeah. I don't know how. It was 100 on the way back from El Dorado. Okay. Yeah, I used to live in California when I was like a very small child, so I don't really remember like any of California. And I remember being on the coast, so I don't know how the weather fares compared to where I am in good old Texas, but I do know it can get very hot in California. Lots of fires. I know my grandma still lives there, and she always tells me about the fires. Yeah, the coast does get a little chilly from that Pacific breeze. A little more, how do they call it? Temperate. So I'm assuming you're a little more inland if it's hotter than the coast. I'm a good-natured man, retired, and spend most of my time sailing the Echo River, riding currents of subterranean gas and that strange invisible wind that moans out of the small tunnels along the bank. Napa is more coast-like, but some of the vineyards are inland. Cool. Good to know. Seeking a companion to map the river with me. I have 2 grown children, but they live far away. This is a nice little bio for his dating profile. It's honest, to the point. No goofballs. I like that. Okay, what do you think? About the wind? How are you liking this game? I am liking this game a lot. I wasn't sure what to expect going into it, But if you don't mind just like reading a lot and just clicking through like speech options, the story and the graphics are like A plus. It's very surreal, which is kind of my sort of thing. If you know Welcome to Night Vale, which is a podcast, and you like that podcast, you'll probably like this game. That's what I think. Have you played this game before, Disc Golfer? Also, welcome in. How are you doing? I don't know. I liked this. I like his bio. If I was on a dating app and I saw this bio, I think he'd be like a stand-up kind of guy. Now, I haven't played this. Someone recommended it to me, so I wanted to check it out. Sounds like a game I would like. Yeah. I think if you think you would like it, then it's like definitely worth playing. Like it's like, yeah. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. It's one of those games where, like, if you have a feeling you would like it, you either, maybe some people are ambivalent about it, but I feel like you either do or you don't like it, and if you think you like it, you'll probably like it. Yeah, that's what I would say. I didn't think the thing about the wind was too much. I mean, it was kind of poetic. I mentioned your children. I think that's a good thing to say up front. Goofballs. I think he'll be fine. Yeah. Well, all right then. Sounds like I'm ready to get back on that computer. You have a good night now. What's left of it anyway. So, I realized last time that Johnny and Val are actually robots, and this is why I kept hearing there was like a weird mechanical noise that like we thought was the truck, but it was actually the sound of them walking. And I did not realize that these two characters were robots until like the last time I streamed, which was 2 days ago. Yeah, they're robots. I mean, they act very much like humans. They're musicians and they sing and they sound like humans and they talk like humans, but they are most definitely robots. They're very cool though. I like them. But I did not realize they were robots until I noticed, I saw like a close-up of them and I was like, oh, they're definitely not human, even though they act like it. What do you think of that other dog we've got on board, Val? Blue's a sleepy old hound dog. I know she isn't doing any mushroom hunting, that's for sure. Weird cave fungus growing on soggy moth wings. Sounds kind of romantic, but also kind of gross, right? I wouldn't personally call this romantic at all. It just sounds very disgusting to me. But I don't know. Maybe this robot would, Thank you for the follow. Maybe, I bet there are people in this world who would find it romantic. So, could you fit in the sidecar? If I rode with one knee draped over the side, you could sit next to me? I'd hold you tight. I promise it'd be safe. Maybe we can still talk her into it. So yeah, you'll notice I'll exit this building. When she comes out of the building, she'll be making this weird noise. And last time we thought this noise was the truck that they were driving before they got on this boat, but it is definitely just robot sounds. Nacho Libre is a classic. I do love that movie. That quote for that alert that I have is, I think, my favorite line in the whole movie. It's so good. What's that? It's a crystal. I bought it for you. Wow, thank you, ma'am. Hey, could you hold on to it for a minute? I'm gonna look around inside. Wish me luck. Good luck. Okay, it's Johnny's turn to go inside. I guess Johnny also makes that sound. I just didn't realize it. Is this game kind of just surreal, or does it have a creepy undertone as well? There have been some parts that have come across as a little creepy, but I would say about 90% surreal and like 10% creepy. So it's not like, not a lot. It's primarily more surreal. Hey man, how's your night? Quiet. Where are you headed? Just following Junebug. She was in here a minute ago. Okay, yeah, I had a feeling you two might be traveling together. Is it because we're both robots? I'm never gonna get over that. I never travel, but I do love travelers. That's what I like about this job. The travelers come to me. Meet some interesting people? I wouldn't say I meet them, but I do sell them gas. Well, let me know if I can help you find anything. What is this, Al? Oh. Glory, it is good to be among friends. Sue yourself. Wow, I should take a page out of your book, man. I'd give you any advice I could, little guy, but I think the most important thing I can say is, Glory, it is good to be among friends. Okay, I'll see what I can do with that. It's a ritual of remembrance for me, tonight particularly so. It's my birthday. I am 5 years old. Do you know why I say that? Well, I'm going to tell you. 5 years and some days ago, I set out on the Echo River, alone, or so I thought at the time. I was looking for an ice floe. They are occasionally rumored to travel our humble artery on their way from who knows where to who knows where. Who knows why? It's a mystery. An hour into the journey, my lantern gave out. Now, I always carry 3 or 4 spares. You'll never catch me in the dark again. Lesson learned, buddy. But that night, when that lantern went out, I was stuck in the dark. I kept my arm extended, running my fingers along the cave wall, trying to keep my bearing as best I could and at least make sure I wasn't going in circles. I just prayed I'd find another traveler who knew his way back to the lake or above ground or even just a crack in the rock to get a glimpse of the moonlight. I had a large bag of apples with me. After a long while, maybe a day, I was getting weak, so I took my hand down from the rock to tear the bag open. Well, when I reached back out, I couldn't find that cave wall anymore, or any other. I was totally unmoored, buddy, totally adrift. And it was so dark. I started counting time and apples eaten. I drifted in despair for 4 apples. Then I schemed and planned and dreamed for 2 apples. Finally, I came to accept my fate, lost at sea. And this place, I think, would have continued indefinitely had I not come down to that very last damn apple. Picture me, feeling around in the empty bag, certain that somehow there was another one of those fist-sized chunks of life-giving fruit, already softened by time and probably an unappetizing brown. Nope, that was it. Just as I was about to bite into my last meal, I felt a tickle on my upper lip. It hatched right then. Couldn't have been a moment later, or I would have eaten it. My last apple was infested by a damn fruit fly maggot. Oh, gross. Oh, that gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. Well, that should have been the end of it. I should have eaten that apple and that fly while I was at it and put an end to our little food chain suicide pact, but I waited out of mercy. After all, this fly was basically a newborn child, right? A gross insect child, but still child, right? Born into darkness and famine, hungry and alone. I mean, can you imagine that? No other flies out there on the boat, and never would be. No other flies to welcome him into the world. I mean, no fly culture, no fly society, no fly history. A true orphan. I've never really had a lot of empathy for flies. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just try to smash them whenever I see them, so I've never felt bad for a fly, but this makes me want to feel bad for a fly. I started to get depressed just thinking about it all. Worked out a thick tear, I'm not ashamed to say. Well, that fly landed on my cheek, right under my left eye, right on that salty teardrop, and then, blinding glory, his ass lit up like a candle. That wasn't a fly, buddy. That was a damn lightning bug. Thanks for the info about the game. Yeah, no problem. Have a good one. You too. Hope to see you again. And if I do, and if you've played this game, would love to know what you think of it. If you love it as much as I am enjoying it. So that's how come I'm here today with you folks. Only because I found my way out of that strange river cave by the dim-lit rear of some orphan insect hatched out of my last rotten apple. We'll swing back by for sure. I think I'm going to give this game a try. Definitely recommend. I hope you love it. Glory, it is good to be among friends. Man, that story was a ride. Holy cow. Did my Johnny talk your ear off out here? I suspect there are some things he can only say to animals. I guess that's just how people are. Different thoughts for different listeners. I feel the same way. There are some things that I just, even if I'm if there are 2 people that I'm friends with and I feel like I have the same strength of relationship with those 2 friends, they're both really good friends, I would consider them equal. Sometimes there are things that I just, depending on who they are and my history with them, I can't always tell them the same things. But I don't know if there's a specific reason why, but I don't know, I think it's more of a vibe thing. Some people you just know you can talk about certain things with, and Some people are different. That guy's a trip. That gas station attendant. Did you talk to him? It's funny, he actually reminds me of that frog we had for a bit. I thought it was a toad. Oh, is there a difference? I don't know what the difference is between toads and frogs, though I think toads, can they swim in water? For some reason I remember that like toads can't, like they like the damp, but not like full on like ponds of water. But don't quote me on that, I'm probably wrong. Huh, I never knew. Okay, so how does that gas station attendant remind you of a frog? Oh, I don't know. Because they like to talk, I guess. Maybe we should pick up another one? A frog or a cat or an iguana or something? Or maybe a third person to travel with? Huh. Now that would be a whole new adventure, wouldn't it? You and me, we're good together. Safe, free. You know what I mean? We can try stuff out, change our clothes, swap parts around, just play. I'm not lonely, just curious. With another person to play with, what else could we be? We can keep it in mind. Let's not rush into anything. Yeah, you're right about that, ma'am. No rush. Why does he call her ma'am? Oh, that's Kate. Time to hit the road. River, I mean. Where are we going next? See that small brick building? It used to be an upholstery shop. Now it's inhabited by a very skilled taxidermist whose art is greatly in demand. When it comes to an upholstery shop, it didn't see nearly as much business. The old shop's name has been lost to time and weather, and this was decades ago, and the only trace of it now is the grayed fence of an old sign behind the new lettering, which now reads Trapper, Stalker, and Sportsman. And then below, smaller, no specimen is too exotic, no arrangement too fanciful. Some of the upholstery equipment is still there, too, and still sees active use. Elise is the resident artist, though she's not the owner of the shop. It's owned by her aunt, Ida. Ida has very little to do with the day-to-day. She's busy with other endeavors, mostly the restaurant she and her husband run on Lake. I'm not sure if this is Leth or Lethe. Lethe. Leth. I'm calling it Leth. Shannon followed the other travelers ashore to a drowsy beachside bar called the Rum Colony. Act 4, Scene 3. The Rum Colony. Ooh. Like these little torches. Do you have a light? Oh, I've got a not a lantern, but maybe a flashlight? Yep, sounds like him. Our friend Cyrano is booked here tonight. He's pretty good. He's a wizard of the lap steel guitar. Are you two coming ashore? Oh, sure, we'll be up in a minute. Couldn't hold me back. Oh, I don't know. Kay says just to wander back whenever. This is a take it easy kind of stop. She doesn't even blow the foghorn to round up the crew here. No point. Something about this spot is like wax in the ear when it comes to timetables and responsibilities. I was supposed to meet someone here earlier tonight about some bike parts. Hope she's still around. Oh, I'm sure she is, ma'am. Half sleeping into a fragrant mug with all the other wayward sailors. Yeah, what? It's like a little pen light or a flashlight or something. This looks fun, though. I'm gonna, like, go here, have a drink. Can I talk to this person? No? Talk to the bureau folks. The water is fine, invigorating. It makes me want to run. I could gallop up and down this beach like a horse. What's he yelling about? He wants to run on the beach, like a horse, he says. Oh dear, what's in these drinks? Pretty strong, huh? But deceptively sweet. Mine's not very sweet at all, actually. It's just sort of pleasant. I really meant rich, I think, with a sweet aroma. Invigorating. Catch anything, Louise? So, did you find what you were looking for? With Lula, I mean? Is she here? I'm not sure where she is, now that you mention it. Before we left the office, I think I will go for a run along the beach as soon as I'm finished with this drink. Try not to yell so loud, Louise. I'm afraid you'll shake the ceiling loose. They're having a fun time. This looks fun. Are we going to hear another musical number? I hope so. Junebug. Hey, guess who I just saw like an hour ago? Dee Dee. Wasted. I had to send him on his way. Why do you hang out with that guy? He's like family. I hear ya. Gotta draw some kind of line though, right? Hey, any of your friends want a drink? I've got the time. Busy night, but everyone's deep in their straws by now. What have you been mixing up? Let's see, what's good tonight? Dark sweet tiki? What's that like? Chill a tall glass with a little grapefruit juice at the bottom, then just keep pouring in gold rum till it starts to turn iridescent. Add lime juice, white grapefruit juice, and pineapple juice. Some folks like sugar. I always include a toothpick. What else you got? Salty cocktail on the grog? What's that one like? 1 shot, 151 proof rum, 2 shots of light rum, lime juice, refrigerate, throw an apple peel on top. What else you got? Blue Devil. What's that one like? 1 shot dark rum, 2 shots of white rum, pineapple juice, stir, throw an orange peel on top. What else you got? The Brownish Death? That sounds questionable. What's that like? 1 part sugar, several parts light rum. I throw on a little umbrella on there to soften the blow. How many drinks are we gonna talk about? The soft rum noir. Just enough gold rum to make your toes glow, then add a blue curacao and pineapple juice to taste. Pour over ice. That's it. The salty nose. Just enough aged rum to make your toes vibrate. Then add blue curacao and grapefruit juice to taste. Shake, and that's it. Sweet and unpleasant. I take a medium-sized glass bowl and fill it equal parts orgeat syrup and spiced rum. Cover it with a towel and let it stew until it gets a sort of suffering quality going. Add aged rum and let it sit for a while. Put an orange peel on top if you want to show off. Are they going to run out? Wait, I think we already did this one. No, we didn't. The blue sweet tiki. Start with a short, broad glass, lightly rimmed with white grapefruit juice. Put a plastic skull in the bottom of the glass, flip it over and leave it for a few minutes. Then slowly add blue rum, aged rum, white rum, and gold rum. Shake. Clear Devil. Chill a tall glass with a little fine sugar at the bottom, then just keep pouring in white rum till it starts to turn brownish. Add orgeat syrup. Oh, I don't know these things. Orange curacao and pineapple juice. Some folks like lime juice. I always include an orange peel. The Light Death. I mean, we're not able to accept any of these drinks, but I just want to see how many options they have. It's an almond serum or syrup? Okay, syrup. I'm very curious how to actually pronounce that.
Orgeat.
I was definitely not saying that right. Orgeat. That's how you say it. Now I know how to say it. Well, what about the other one I couldn't pronounce?
Curacao.
Curacao. That's what that is. Liqueur flavored with the peel of bitter oranges. Mixed drink thing. Got it. I like oranges. So, orgeat and curacao. Now I know how to say those properly. My Dark Heaven. One shot dark rum, 2 shots of gold rum, orange curacao, shake, throw an orange peel on top. Am I ever gonna like run out of drinks? Or maybe they're just kind of, because I recognize a few parts of these titles. I think they're kind of just switching around parts of the drinks to make new ones. I bet they could go on forever. No drinks for us, thanks. No problem. See you around. Okay. I do kind of wish I had the option to like accept a drink, but apparently we're not having any rum tonight. Hey, did you hear the ice caps are melting? I mean the polar ice caps, the ones all the way at the top. Don't listen to him, hun. He's all doom and gloom tonight. Don't listen. That's the answer, Dawn. Well, what else can you do? Someday, all of this will be underwater. We'll all be drowned. What can you do? I mean, yeah. That's a hopeful way to look at it, but also I can be a little cynical and just kind of go with it too. Maybe it's better that way. Great, another pessimist. You two have fun. I'll be drowning in my this Mai Tai. He's just in a dark mood because the bar is crowded tonight. He likes to spread out. They said down at the bureau that the American dollar will be depleted before our kids are grown. What? Well, what do you expect? Cotton is already useless. I'm certain the government is fully aware cotton is useless. It's a desperate situation, really. That's why I'm depressed. Sunny, you're insufferable. Okay, Sunny. Let's listen to Serrano. You're off. Have a good stream. Thank you. Hope you have a good rest of your evening. And I will be streaming again tomorrow, so I have to see you tomorrow. I'm so glad to see you. These kooks are bumming me out, man. See that guy in the sand over there? He rolled up, kind of off center, you know, kind of leaning on the stage here, and he was like, what kind of strings are those? Steel or nylon? I'm sure you were cool about it. Oh yeah, it's mandatory around here, man. It's what the people want. I'm just a humble artist, you know? Plus, it's better for tips. You can't look like you care about it, you know? Even if it's your livelihood. A crowd can smell economic precarity, and then it turns them off. I guess it's no fun to give someone money if they really need it. Too much responsibility. Hey, speaking of which, I'm about mid-set here. Can you take the can around? Take the can around while I play this next one? It's on the tape. I think you'll like it, man. Thanks. Ooh. Let's go. She didn't have to do that. Had to hurt. But that's the way it goes. The unsteady steadying the unsteady. There's probably a $5 bill somewhere just floating up and down the river from tip jar to musician to tip jar to musician, like an eternal ferry of good intentions. These two are pretty reliable. Where does their money come from anyway? Government check, maybe? Nah, then they'd only tip like that on the 1st and 15th. Maybe they fence stereos or something. These kooks are really going for it. It's good. You can't always hope for much with these fly-by-night crowds. Could have been some deep tiki fanatics getting uptight about Serrano's tape machine or something. But these folks are tourists wherever they go. I think I got tips from everybody. Yeah? Just gonna enjoy the vibes now. Yeah, listen, we got a problem down here. What? Man, it's all messed up. I tried realigning that big sewer grate under the livestock pen like you said, right? Who? Damn thing flooded, man. It's even worse than before. All I'm saying is we've got to get these computers out of here. So, I mean, we're running out of time here, man. Hey, I forget. Does that big green valve dump water or sewage? You told me earlier, but I've been so stressed it kind of just flew out of my mind. So, should I turn that valve? Ooh. Oh no. Yes. Alright, you're the boss. I got an achievement for that. Oh, now we're Shannon again. The American dollar. That's his latest rant, but I'm not surprised by anything anymore. Before this, it was bovine growth hormones and global warming. Nah, he's harmless. I just don't know him anymore, that's all. He takes bits and pieces of things he reads and synthesizes them all into some grand theory, and it's always the end of the world. But who could know that stuff, right? We can't even predict the weather. I mean, if you could take all these little pieces and predict how they're all going to interact, well, you'd know everything. I'll tell you what I'd do with that kind of knowledge. When I first met a man, I'd look at his shoes and the kind of books he reads and what he eats for breakfast, and I'd make damn sure we weren't doomed to spend our twilight years greedily emptying Mai Tais and arguing about the American dollar. Well, you know what they say about hindsight. Here's to a better yesterday. Poor Don. Can we go talk to Ezra? Is that Ezra? I think that's Ezra, right? Can I talk to you, Ezra? I don't think so. The styrofoam cup is half buried in the sand, miraculously intact. It still has some coffee in it. Maybe it came from the bar. Or maybe someone dropped it here on their way to the bar. Maybe they weren't even headed to the bar originally, but drank their coffee too fast and needed a stiff counterbalance. Shannon thinks about the war of liquids in the stomach. Coffee to start a day, liquor to end it, apple cider vinegar to patch up the battlefield. Her mouth feels dry. She thinks about all the nervous casualties of the liquid war, clumsy alchemists transmuting day into night. She thinks about a chalky, gray-pink liquid her mother kept for upset stomachs. That was stored in a coffee cup, too. Are we going to pick it up or just leave it? I guess we're just leaving it. Something glints black in the flashlight's beam. Shannon brushes sand off a damaged VHS tape. The smudged label on the spine reads, "Private, do not watch, but do not erase." Any other interesting things we can find? Maybe. Oh, right here. Is it right here? Hello? There it is. A damp matchbook rests on top of the sand. Shannon flips it open without looking, runs her thumb across the cardboard, and finds one match still intact. She stares ahead, transfixed by the texture on her fingertip, and she wonders if it will flake apart and leave her hands smelling and feeling like fire for the rest of the night, or if the cold lake water has already washed away that part of the match, the part that smells and feels like fire. Oh, Will's here. Hello. Happy to be in the here and now. I heard a shuffling. Are you dragging your feet or just enjoying the sand between your toes? Yeah, it's nice to slow down for a minute. We have time. Lots of glass here. Patch's boys load the empties on the barge. I told them, try to keep it separated in its own little pile. That way, when we get to disposing of it, any environmentally minded folks present can easily set them aside for recycling. I love the river, but I don't care for the current. It's too relentless. Lake Leth, though, is calm, cold, and deep. At any opportunity, I'm ashore meditating. One day I may be left behind. I wanted to ask you something. I thought of it earlier, but it didn't seem like the right time. I'm sure you know what I'm getting at. You wanted some advice about that mechanical mammoth. Oh, I'll figure it out eventually. I do appreciate your insight. I suspect you have a kind of intuition for electronics. You understand them like you understand not a person, but a cat or dog maybe. It's your calling, not from society or authority, but an inner calling. I should have said it's in your nature. Wouldn't you agree? I guess so. Yeah, I thought so. Very insightful, Will. Oh, wait. Nope. Let me click on this. There we go. Shannon pulls a feather from the sand and brushes it clean. When she was a child, she collected feathers. Not the way a hobbyist collects trinkets, but the way a clump of dust collects more dust by static electricity. She deposited them on the kitchen table at the end of the day. Weaver's mother said it was unhygienic. Shannon's mother said that was American germaphobe bullshit and put them in a vase. An untouched drink sits on the table, forgotten or abandoned, or simply wasted. There she is. You have to try one of these flower drinks. I feel like I could drink 100 of them. Not too sweet, not too strong, you know? A real session drink. What's it called? I think he said it was well, how do you like that? I'll just show him the flower. Another one of these, I'll say, and then I'll point to the flower. Maybe I'll wear it in my hair. It doesn't taste like a flower. I mean, not like a flower smells. You know, perfumed, sickly sweet. It's like a star thistle flower. One of my first long haul gigs ended in a crash. Did I tell you about that? It wasn't so bad, actually. I swerved to dodge some stray cattle, hit a stump on the side of the road, and flipped the trailer. The whole rig went twisting down into a muddy ditch. It was spring, and I blacked out. I don't think I hit anything. It was just the shock of it, or maybe my brain bounced against the inside of my skull or something. It's not like a concussion. Anyway, I woke up and I'd been thrown clear. Never worn a seatbelt since. Since? Shouldn't that be reason to wear your seatbelt even more? Conway? Oh, why'd I bring that up? Star thistle. I woke up in a field of star thistle. The first thing I thought was, what are all these damn ugly flowers? More old stuff. I'm drowning in old stuff tonight. Feels like I've got it piled up all around me, like one of those old guys you hear about who never threw anything away. You know what I mean? Hey, maybe you should slow down. Oh, no, I don't think so. In fact, I could use a few more of these. Just take a book of matches to the room. That should clear everything right up. Know what I mean? Sorry, I'm not making sense, am I? I just mean to say I can't look at anything without remembering something else. And then that reminds me of something else, and I'm buried in it. I just need to get my head clear for a minute, get a clear view of the day, get oriented. There was a time when I felt this way, I'd bite the bullet, try to sober up and get a job. Is that why you're going to work for the distillery? Maybe it is. Seems like a pretty simple answer, right? Just follow the work as long as you can. You got me all figured out. Hey, I'm gonna sit and look at the water for a minute. I'll talk to you later. Don't be a stranger. You good, Conway? Oh, go back. At first, Shannon mistakes the iridescent glimmer for a seashell washed up from a lake, maybe some freshwater relative of the abalone, or maybe a pearl, but it's only a trading card. It must have been valuable to someone, or it wouldn't be printed on this lustrous material. Whatever was on it has mostly worn away. All that's left is the shiny backing and the words, Gleaners Forward. Can't go any further. Another phone call. Is he going to answer it? Yellow. Yeah, let me talk to Drew, please. What does Drew look like? Kind of plump-cheeked, but not obscenely so. A person of many talents. You can tell immediately. No, I don't see anyone like that. Did you check the stairwell, though? Drew sometimes sits over by the stairwell. No stairs, no stairwell, my friend. Well, that doesn't make any sense. How do you get up there, then? Up where? Up to where you're at right now, damn it. What place are you trying to call? The place where Drew is at. Look, this doesn't have to be complicated. Hey, man, I've got other things to do. When you see Drew, just say I called, alright? There's some weird phone calls. Well, that was a pleasant detour. Yes, ma'am. Ready to get moving? How about you round up the old man if you can tear him free? Conway, let's go. Oh, who's this? Wait, who is this? Rick. I didn't see you there, Rick. This music is so sweet. Don't you think so? It's like a flower, I think. A delicious heavy flower. Like this flower in my drink. Makes my eyelids feel like petals wet with early morning dew. Have you ever slept on the beach? Can't say I've had the opportunity. No time like the now. Come lay in the sand. Have some of this drink. I forget what it's called, but they put a pale pink flower in it. Isn't that tranquil? Oh gosh, I'm so stressed out. What are you stressed about? Work, love, the weight of each approaching day? Everyone deserves to rest, don't you think? Even you and I? Sure we do. Sure we do. Someday the lake and the riverbed will be dry. The shops along it will be bankrupt, the homes empty, the boats abandoned. See, even the river will rest. Why should we be any different? You know, my colleagues and I are meant to be celebrating something of a milestone here this evening. A milestone? It's true. Well, it's kind of hard to explain. Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Ever heard of it? Of course, I met you earlier tonight. Oh, of course. Good to see you again. Oh, wait, now I remember. You came by to see Senior Clerk Chamberlain. Oh, our dear Miss Chamberlain. Tragically, she couldn't join us tonight. Jumped ship at the last minute. She said she had packing to do. I wonder where she's going. A profound sigh. All this conversation is making me lightheaded. I think I'll shut my eyes a bit, maybe just halfway. I'll listen to the water and this sweet music and the whispers of my colleagues. Shop talk. Can you believe it? Still working. Always working. It's better, I think, to sleep. Yes, better to sleep. Good luck, Rick. Oh, Conway is hanging out with the hard times people. Yeah, you're right about that. I never quite thought of it that way. Who are you talking to? Noticing Shannon for the first time? Oh, nah, it's nothing. Hey, let's get out of here. Work to be done, right? It's easy to miss, but beneath that quarter-acre swarm of moths, that's Gortina pidiocampa, the prominent heart and club moth. Their diet is mostly constrained to lichen, but they make an exception for sunflowers. There's a quarter-acre sunflower orchard, and beneath that sunflower orchard there are 2 small lots with small houses, positioned so they just about butt right up to each other. The houses are empty now of human life. There's no sign of a person or anything living except for moths and overgrowth. There are some pipes bolted into the cave wall near the perimeter and a few stone scars where the other pipes have been ripped away by scavengers. These once supported the large grow lamps that fed the sunflowers. The lamps are gone now. Once this crop of sunflowers is picked away, it's unlikely anything else will grow here but lichen, moss, and rock formations. The prominent heart and club moth will move on. The houses will be visible again, at least until somebody strips them for building materials or the river washes them away. The houses were once inhabited by 2 sisters. Why they built their houses so close together or lived in any proximity at all is a mystery, since they clearly despised one another. It's possible the neighboring houses were an attempt at reconciliation. It didn't work. If anything, close quarters just turned up the pressure until those decades of closely held resentments and animosities were pretty near boiling over. All that energy had to go somewhere, and both sisters had the same idea. They took up gardening. They both cultivated sunflowers, an improbable crop for this location, too improbable to be coincidence. Maybe the sunflower had some special meaning for them, or maybe when one sister saw her rival sowing the impossible seeds, she knew at once she couldn't bear to be outdone. Which sister had the greener thumb? We'll never know. The stalks tangled, the roots knotted, and the seeds mixed. Those gangly sunflowers merged the 2 lots into one undifferentiated field. The 2 sisters moved out, probably around the time the moths started showing up. Of course, there was no selling the lots then, overgrown and bug-chewed as they are. In fact, if those sisters ever tried to sell, they'd be in for a rude shock. Not long ago, a property tax clerk, having seen the 2 adjoining lots registered to the same last name, presumed they belonged to the same owner and erased the legal border between them. Quite a story. Kate and I stopped to do business by telephone. Who's I? Act 4, Scene 4. A phone. Are we gonna explore the phone tree again? Oh, everybody's just hanging out here. I guess we're gonna be here for a minute. It looks like they have a few calls to make. Who is this? Shannon, Conway, Junebug, Ezra, Will. One of these is Kate. I think this is Kate. Who's this person? What are you gonna do? Yeah, that's a good question. I just thought I'd stretch my legs, on firm ground. I didn't realize this place would be floating on barrels. Back when I was driving long hauls, that's the real big trucks now, I sometimes wouldn't leave the cab but to pump gas. I took my meals in there. I slept in there. I changed my socks in there, the whole thing. So one time I was hauling a bunch of big spools, telephone wire I think actually, up from California into Washington State. You know where that is? It's way out. On a map, it's kind of to the left of here, more or less. In between California and Washington, there's a place called Oregon, and you can't pump your own gas there. They have a guy who does it called a gas jockey, and you'd better not even open your door or else they'd get all suspicious. I heard that was a thing. Is that still a thing? I have a friend who is from Oregon. I think she told me about that, but I can't remember if that's still a thing. Gas stations take forever, definitely still a thing? Really? That's so interesting to me. I don't know, it's kind of a nice thing, but also I kind of want to fill up my own gas myself, I was just in Oregon a month ago and it was a thing. Weird. Wonder if it's like that anywhere else. I feel that that's such a old-fashioned thing, something you'll see in movies from the 50s or something. Maybe New Jersey. Oh, one other state? Yeah, I guess it's not super common. Interesting. I drove through California and into Washington, and I refueled in the middle in Oregon, so I didn't set foot out of my truck for a whole day. When I came out of that cab, the ground rushed up like it missed me, gave me a big old kiss right on the chin, right here. What I'm saying is, hell, I forget. What am I talking about? Can't pump your own gas in Oregon. Exactly. Don't forget that, and don't say I never taught you anything. Well, I guess I'll head back aboard. Might see if I can find any of the stuff stashed maybe in the spice cabinet? Maybe in the medicine cabinet? That's where it belongs. Hell, who am I talking to? Don't listen to me, kid. I'll see you in a few. Bye, Conway. They're all just watching him. Oh?
Driving up in a white Nissan station wagon with that I'd seen the house that I was gonna live in for the next 7 years.
Being washed in the bathroom sink. I was just catching my car. I had to parallel park it, the street that I live on was full, but it just got cold today for like the first time in a long time. So I had the heat on. And whenever you have the heat on in an old car, it definitely smells a certain way. It smells kind of like, it almost smells kind of like smell that it's hot. And you can feel it too, but the smell that it is like from the car itself, like from the engine. And there's been a lot of smoking going on in that car, so it's not exactly a pleasant smell, but it's definitely strong and it's definitely there. And if the window's down, you can also smell that it's cold. So you get both. And that's
Where does this game take place?
super familiar if you've been in old cars a lot. Anyway, I was parking and
It takes place
I
in
had to go in and out
Kentucky.
like 3 times when I finally finished
Kentucky, but also not Kentucky.
perfect. Both wheels against the curb. And that's when I had like the shovel memory. When I first learned how to drive, my mom taught me how to parallel park.
Exactly.
She told me the story
Not
about
Kentucky.
her dad, who was
I would even go so far to argue that most of the time we have been in
every time
not Kentucky, but also it's like Kentucky, but like not.
fit dime between the wheel of her car and the curb of
In a place that's like Kentucky, but it doesn't exist in reality.
she didn't do that for me. But every time that I got
The anti-Kentucky.
having to do it again, she would tell me that at least I didn't have to be a dime distance away
Usually there's
from
not
the
any
curb.
like voice acting in this, so this is very interesting that they chose to put voice acting
I got
at this
so
part.
lost during that time. And I don't know when my mom learned to drive.
Oh, probably going to school. I can't sleep because the trees are scraping against my window, and it reminds me of a tongue scraping against my skin.
You know, I wonder if these messages came from people leaving like actual messages on the phone tree that we called the other night. That would be very cool, and I don't know if I would ever want to hear myself in this game.
What?
I'm wondering if these are real life messages, because there is I can't access. I have like a little inventory of notes, and there's a phone number you can call. It's a Kentucky phone number, and it takes you to this phone tree, and you can access certain branches in the tree that allow you to leave like voicemails. And I'm wondering if they took some voicemails and put it in the game. I'm wondering if that's what this is. because these are kind of random and they kind of go along with the prompts that you would get in the phone tree. It is really cool. I've never like seen stuff like that before.
I'm about to cross the national. I worry about my dog.
And it also kind of explains like why some are so like out of context and kind of random and short and long and stuff like that.
Can't sleep anywhere near a place. The gas is full. Not when it's being sold, when it's not being sold.
I did leave a message. I don't remember what I left a message about. Actually, I left a message about like my first memory that I can remember. And I remember, I think I left a message about like the first time I held my little brother after he was born. Because I think I was about 3. Yeah, I too, I would 100% be like, oh no, they put my message in this game? No, thank you.
It's tough to hold on to this thing, but yeah, my hands are pretty damp.
This one, there was, I remember specifically, there was a message you could leave, and it had you talk about your experience with like holding a snake. So that one definitely came from that branch.
I remember the number 10 in a flashcard with a turkey on it. It had a yellow background.
I wonder if this one comes from like the first memory you remember one. Remembering the number 10 on a flashcard with a turkey on it. That's like something maybe like you'd show a child to help them learn their numbers or something.
The frogs are too loud.
I don't know. These are really interesting. Like, I'd say I almost like the really short ones best. Like this one about the frogs, I think that's so interesting. But like this really long one about the car is also really like beautiful in its own way because it's so like you get a whole story out of that one.
Not a whole lot. I guess I was walking over to the stroller in Treetop Park in Florida. My mother accidentally pushed me into a spider web. I freaked out a lot. That's the first thing I remember.
This one's definitely about that first memory. I would imagine that if these are actually messages, the devs would have had to handpick them. It wouldn't make sense for them to just add any old message for people to hear later. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I bet there could get some trolley type messages. I don't know. There's also like the whole thing about like I wonder if they had like when the game first was released, and like no one had played it yet, if they had this section in here. I wonder if they had to like ask maybe like friends or family to like supply content for this section, or if they added it in later after people started talking and leaving messages after playing it.
We were sent for.
Now that one is cryptic. What does that mean? I don't know how many messages there are, but honestly, I'd just listen to the rest of these for like 3 hours, probably.
Because whenever I close my eyes, it's like bells for me. Like the bells aren't metal bells, they're ceramic bells. They're kind of bells like memory here. They're like weird. I can't even describe the material. It's just resonant. It's ringing resonant. And as soon as I open my eyes again, there's nothing.
Oh.
I remember driving across an old dirt road.
Phone tree stream? A few days ago when I first discovered it, we spent probably at least 30 minutes to an hour, somewhere around there, just going through the different branches. We didn't get through everything, but we explored a bit of it. It'd be kind of fun to just take a whole entire stream and just do the whole thing.
My birthday was at the party at McDonald's in Hawaii. I got a toy that I didn't like.
Aw. I meant just listening to messages, but that sounds like an even better idea, honestly. I would take a whole stream to do this, and I would take a whole stream to do the phone tree too. Like this and that phone tree, those have been, I think, the most intriguing and like most bizarre points of this game so far. And I think these two things are like why I really love this game. I think without them, like I would still like this game a lot, but this really escalates it for me.
Being shot in the jungle gym. I was crying so bad. Mom picture rallies at it. My parents take me out. They just pulled it out of the gym. Seriously?
Oh,
Whether I wear boots or sneakers, my feet always feel damp. Cold and damp. Well, I was hoping that you'd be able to tell me why I can't sleep. It seems like it's been a long time, and it seems like it's been it's happening now.
super cool when games can incorporate some real world stuff into it like this. Yeah. It really like brings it into reality and makes it more personal. And I think even more so with this game because like the whole plot is so surreal. Sorry. The whole plot is so surreal, so like having these like really these moments where you were kind of really brought face to face with real people and like interactive elements like this, it kind of brings that surrealness into reality and makes it feel like so interesting. Also, I didn't even notice some people left the group on the right side of the stream. I swear there used to be more people there. On this side right here, this side has always been empty. And I think these people are still the same. On the boat, I think these people are the same. We saw Conway leave before Will got on the phone. I mean, it does feel kind of it does feel slightly emptier, but maybe if people, like, one person did leave and then one person moved from here to here. No, you're fine, don't worry about it. I don't think anyone has, like, left besides that one person, though. But yeah, you're fine. Don't worry about it. You're totally fine to be in and out. Oh, that's the end of them. Oh, those are so cool. I just wanted to listen to all of them. I mean, I did, but I wanted to listen to more. Don't you go diving in too? It's actually really cold and kind of dangerous. Did he say where he was going? He's looking for the good stuff. Okay, I'm gonna leave for real now, though. There's a soccer game I want to watch. Hope you have a great rest of your stream. Thank you. Have fun watching the soccer game. Is it an Olympic soccer game? I haven't been keeping up with the Olympics. Maybe I should. I should at least see how people are doing. But yeah, thanks for hanging out and chatting for me for a bit. Well, with me for a bit. Yeah. I see. Still thirsty. Kate keeps some diet soda in the broom closet, but you didn't hear it from me. It's next to the bleach. Bring a flashlight. A die-hard Sounders fan? I don't know what the Sounders are, but I love that for you. I am personally not the biggest sports person, but I do appreciate others' enthusiasm for sports. Oh, no, I don't think that's what he's looking for. Have fun. See you around. Have a good night. You too. So any important messages? Every single one. Oh, I like that. I also felt every single one was very important. Where are you headed tonight, small man? I'm just following my friends. Is this young woman your friend? We met Ezra earlier tonight, and he's been very helpful. I'm hoping we can return the favor once we get back above ground. Poor kid was sleeping at the bus station and just lost track of his folks. I hear this is the place for sports enthusiasts. I mean, I won't be able to keep up with conversations about that kind of thing, but if there's anyone else in chat who is also a big sports enthusiast, then this is the place for you. I mean, Proto, are you a sports enthusiast? Is that what you're saying? Am I learning something new about you? He'll be all right. He's more at home down here than any of us. Trust me, I have an eye for it. We're all just making our phone calls tonight. I've been a pretty big fan of various sports throughout my life. What sport are you a fan of right now, or sports? Kate, thanks for calling. How are you feeling? Pregnant? Couldn't get settled in bed, so I was just watching TV. Some cooking show about high-concept junk food, and everyone from my high school chemistry class was there, making cupcakes out of old bicycle parts. I think I might have dozed off a bit, actually. Honestly, this baby can come out whenever he wants. I am completely over it. Don't rush it, just try to get some rest. That's what Eric says. Huh. I guess it'll happen when it happens. I mean, obviously it... Phone line makes a horrible sound. Whoa, God, the phones down here are such a mess. Always been a baseball fan, but went through a WWF phase in high school, and I followed NASCAR for a good 12 years or so. Okay, baseball, I will say, I mean, I don't follow baseball, but I do enjoy watching baseball whenever I happen to be at a baseball game. WWF, that's WWE now, right? I think my sisters one of my sisters in particular really loved WWE. She loves playing like the WWE like video games on the Xbox. I think it's so funny. But I just love how much she loves it. It's so cute. And then NASCAR is very interesting. I wouldn't have personally considered that a sport. Is it considered a sport? I mean, yeah, it is. That's interesting. Also, I want to ask you if you have, since you are saying you followed it for about 12 years or so, like, what, I'm not trying to like poke fun at you or anything, but like, what did you find entertaining about it? Because I don't, I don't, it doesn't sound entertaining to watch cars just drive in a large circle for however many laps they go. WWE is a soap opera with testosterone. You're totally right about that. I would say the sports that I enjoy watching now, even though I don't like follow them, are baseball and hockey. I think those are two really fun sports to watch. But anything else, I'm not really into. Football, I don't understand football. Football just has never clicked for me, even though people have tried to explain it to me many times. Basketball's okay. I would have never thought I'd like it, but my friend did a fantasy league and I joined and then started watching the ends of the races to see how my picks did. I started tuning in earlier and earlier. That makes sense. I can see that. I've definitely done that with other things in my own life. Never, like for example, I never thought, this is not sports related, but I never thought I would like K-pop. But while I was on my vacation and I was hanging out with my sisters for like every minute of every day, I just started listening to some of the songs they were playing because they really loved K-pop, and I started listening to more and more songs slowly, and now I've got a big old playlist of songs that I like. Eventually dove all the way in. The personalities make it better, and it's all the same guys each week, so you really get to know them. Very cool. Interesting. I wonder, do they have like, I feel like a lot of sports people kind of have like big egos. Do NASCAR drivers also have big egos? My friend hasn't been into K-pop for a long time, and I've always enjoyed the music. Yeah, I remember, like, I'm sure my first K-pop song that I ever heard was Gangnam Style back in like 2012, and I never paid it much mind until like a few weeks ago. The videos are really good though. They're very fun. Hey Kate, I really appreciate you checking in. I have your pager number, and so does Eric, just in case I'm too distracted or whatever. Who uses pagers still? They don't always come off that way. They're very competitive, which can be fun. Interesting. I think a good level of competition is good, as long as you're not like obsessed with the competition. But I'm also not very competitive. Pagers are very interesting. Like, the idea of a pager is a very interesting concept to me. Like, I remember watching Gilmore Girls, and that show came out when, I don't know, I was probably Probably ran from when I was like 5 to 9 years old, or maybe 12. I think there are 7 seasons, so probably like from when I was 5 to 12. And I remember in those earlier seasons, Rory had a pager, and I'm like, what the heck is a pager? And why would you need it? But people didn't have it wasn't as common to carry around a cell phone back then. We kind of got rid of them with cell phones, I guess. I remember my grandpa had a pager, but I don't know how often he used it. Primitive texting, exactly. Could you send actual messages on a pager? Or I thought it was just like you would call the pager, and it would just like ping you to call whatever number back when you had the time. That's what I thought it was, but maybe you could send actual like text-based messages. Reishi will help you with your joint pain. Okay, thanks. Maybe I'll just chew on some ice. Chewing on ice sounds kind of weird, but I like chewing on ice. I like chewing, well, not on like full on ice cubes, but like crushed ice. I love chewing on like crushed ice. That's so good. But I think there were some default messages like 911. Oh, interesting. Just checking in on a client. Did I mention I'm a birth doula? I have a friend who's a doula. Wow, how does that fit with being a tugboat captain? Some women choose to come labor on the boat, actually. Whoa. For the rest, I have a backup, just in case I can't get back to dry land in time. I've been lucky and only had to lean on her a handful of times out of several hundred births. You'd never believe how many people are just born all the time. It's like a nurse, right? Well, no, I don't have any formal medical training or licensing, just a lot of experience. I think most women who hire me mainly want someone in the delivery room who doesn't treat childbirth like some sort of disease to be cured. I mean, no hard feelings against doctors, but they have their own process, and it can be pretty alienating sometimes. Your friend went back aboard. He's been drinking a bit. Oh, I should have pointed him toward the head. I mean, I've never given birth myself, so I cannot speak to this personally, but I know my friend who is a doula. I like follow her like Instagram account that she posts about like stuff like that, and she always like promotes like the feeling of like safety and acceptance and not feeling like alone and having someone to like support you through the birth process. So I wonder if that's like sort of around this kind of idea or concept. But I feel like giving birth can be alienating and scary. Oh, where's this? I'm glad you phoned. I was just thinking of you. I'm gonna turn this down, by the way. Okay. You're sitting by the phone waiting for my call? That's so nice. I was eating an early lunch, actually, and my mind was wandering. I visited the hospital yesterday. I went to visit Uncle Andreas, but they moved him. Now he's in a hospice care facility run by some old Polish nun. Everyone says it's very nice. I asked them about visiting, and they said he didn't want any visitors. I mean, I guess that is his right, even if he is being stubborn. That's his right. I guess it is technically. Clara, I don't think it's really what he wants. If you came to visit, he would see you. All those afternoons you two would go drinking beers by the river. Don't you think it would mean a lot to him if he could say goodbye to you in person? Oh, Nadia, I'd never make it back in time anyway. It's true. You're a long way from home, Clara. I suppose it can't be helped. Oh, here's Mother at the door. We're going to try again to see him. I hope the tour is going well. Love you. Be careful. My sister back home. She's very depressing to me this morning. My Uncle Andreas is terminally ill and refusing visitors, and Nadia's making a stir about it. I'm sorry to hear. Are you close? Yes, but only recently. He lived abroad for most of my life. I only met him a few years ago. My sister's older, so she knew him as a child, too. So I think her respect for him is distorted by sentiment. We must always take the dying at their word. Their motivations are beyond our understanding. The older man, he's swimming back to the Mammoth. No emergency, I hope? Oh, I hope there's paper. It's been a busy night. He's writing a letter? Huh. I hadn't heard that euphemism. Must be Lithuanian. Brandon approaches. Oh, I think that's who this guy is. I don't suppose any of you folks are headed past the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Can't get a hold of your ride? Yeah, my mom usually picks me up from work, but I got wrapped up in a card game and I didn't call her in time. I hitched a ride this far, but must have been quite a card game. Did you win anything? Oh, it's a variant of solitaire. I designed it myself. Well, it's a work in progress. It's no big deal. I'll just hang out and read or something until it's time to head back to work. Hey, you folks are traveling with that old guy, right? With the leg? Is he okay? Saw him earlier tonight. He came by the storage facility for some files. He totally bit it on the staircase. He's okay though, right? I think so. I don't know him too well. He's a passenger. Cool. Hey, I guess he's well enough to swim. Well, have a good night. Or morning almost. That right there is Ratliff Monuments. If you ever need a headstone carved, for a loved one, I mean. Violet Ratliff, never married, nevertheless bore 6 children, Earl, Kelly, Barb, Ron, young Earl, and Beauty. And for each birth she locked the doors of Ratliff Monuments for only one day, even with young Earl, when she was in labor for 36 hours. Well, that's what folks said, and I met her, and I believe them. She had the unyielding disposition of a cliffside. None of Violet's children had any desire to go into monument making. Beauty thought it was all a bit ghoulish. There's some truth to that. Very little demand for monuments to the living, after all. The run of the shop fell at last to young Earl, the only Ratliff still at home when his mother finally passed at 82, and who then had the honor of engraving her headstone. He's done well for the most part. The shop was damaged in a flood several years ago. The showcase, a mock cemetery out front, was mostly washed away. Stone monuments, bobbing violently in the first torrents of the flood, eventually sank and spread along the channel bottom downriver, an elongated graveyard for no human loss, visited by eyeless fish and adorned with indifferent wreaths of algae. If a few stray stones ended up at the bottom of Lake Leth, too, we'll never know. Young Earl is the last of his short line professionally, and there's nobody around qualified to carve his monument, so he's already claimed one of those at the bottom of the river for himself. Where's this? Shannon, Ezra, the old man, and I stopped at the Radvansky Center to make some quick cash. Act 4, Scene 5. The Radvansky Center. Oh, we're looking through a security camera. Good morning. Bags isn't feeling well. Long night. Poor kitty. What are you watching? Security tape from last night. Daryl left the lights on again. Should we slash his tires? I'll leave a stern note on his desk. Spare the rod. What are we doing today? Right. This is weird. You know that old vending machine? The one that only has tomato juice? No. The old one they just stopped refilling. Remember, we rolled it out onto the dock last August and some scavenger stripped it for metal in the middle of the night? Daryl cut his hand cleaning up after them and it got infected. Remember? No. Okay. Anyway, the rest of it ended up in the coat room until finally Daryl was piling it into a big bag for the trash barge to pick up, and he came across this box lost behind all the junk. Check it out. This looks old. Yeah, there's a bunch of videotapes and completed questionnaires. I looked up the reference number and it's never been processed, so I guess that's what we're doing today. There's no date on it. We'll just have to make one up unless there's some footage of a calendar or something in here. Flipping through the questionnaire. I guess these are the old tests before we started doing the video exit interviews. That's annoying. Yeah, let's see. How do we do this? I'll run the tape, you interpret the questionnaire, and I'll type it up. Wow, I haven't seen that poster in a while. I think that was mine from college. Yeah, definitely. Oh, right. Daryl swapped it out in the redesign. Now it's... What's there now? Yeah, it's... That's weird. I can't picture it. I mean, I can picture the wall, and there's definitely something hung there. That's gonna bug me. Want me to go look? It's just down the hall, huh? No. It's okay. The modernist bookshelf with the fancy vintage turntable. So ostentatious. So Daryl. What? That was my bookshelf? Oh no. But you grew out of it or something, right? It ended up in the lab somehow. I keep my books in a pile now. It's easier to find what I'm looking for. Never what shelf is that book on, only, well, it's somewhere in the pile. Pragmatic. this should be some basic information in the first control test. Subject's general disposition. Jen looks over the questionnaire document from the envelope. Question: why are you here? Response: I don't know. Permissive. Demographic category. Question: what's the first thing you remember? Response: I remember spilled orange juice. Immigrant. Do you think we should use the old categories or the new categories? Oh, right. Will the computer even still take the old ones? They're still in the menu. Okay. In that case, put in precarious. Sure. Oh, I forgot. Name? It says Marquez on the file. Whoa. Marquez? Are you sure? That's what it says. Do you know her? That can't be. No, that's not her. Did she come alone or with a group? I don't know. There's an extended monitoring tape here, too. Could check on the dock when she showed up. No, definitely not. Oh, she's traveling with one of those creepy distillery guys. Nah, it just looks like some old drifter. Maybe you're right. It's hard to tell in this light. Oh, it's... Wait, who is that? The guy in the hoodie. What? I've never seen him before. Really? Looks so damn familiar. I thought maybe he was a former intern or something. He's a little old for that, right? No, I don't recognize him. Sorry. You're all deja vu this morning. It's spooky. Sorry, just one of those days, I guess. He looks kind of ominous just standing there like that. Guess the old man is on dinghy guard duty. A noble assignment. So, who was this lady? Oh, right. Well, do you remember WEVP TV? No. Okay. It was a community television station. The Consolidated Power Company had to fund it as, like, a punishment for owning too much of the broadcast spectrum or something. Oh, they used to screen your videos, right? Yeah, it was like a co-op. I did some maintenance and they gave me a slot to show my work. And they had that naked banjo guy late at night. Naked banjo guy? Yeah, that's mainly what everyone remembers. I guess their whole mandate was community expression. He was certainly expressive. Oh wait, was WEVP the one that... The flood, right? Naked banjo guy. Like, I kind of want to watch Naked Banjo Guy play his banjo. I'm assuming that's what he's doing. Yeah. Damn. So, Shannon Marquez, did she have a naked banjo show too? What? No. Let me guess. Question: which of the following sentences best describes you? I agree for fading memories. She did the weather? No, I've never heard of Shannon Marquez. It was a Weaver Marquez I knew. She worked at the station for a bit and then she left on kind of weird terms, actually. Anyway, where were we? Okay, how do we rank her from the control test? Question. Without turning around to look, please describe the following objects. Bookshelf. It has 3 shelves. It is shaped like a snake. It reminds me of a department store. Question. Poster. I remember circles. I have a poster in my workshop, a vintage advertisement for vacuum tubes. Lighting. One lamp. Average, I guess. Maybe I didn't do too well on that. Typing average. Okay. Looking back at it, I think I did okay. Should have gotten better than average, certainly, right? Is there any pie left in the break room? Daryl finished it off before he went home last night. Daryl is on thin ice. You're declaring enemies left and right. What? Who else? That other Marquez woman, Weaver. Didn't you? Maybe I misunderstood. I thought I detected some, animosity. Oh, no, nothing like that. She wasn't the kind of person you could like or dislike, really. She was just there, and all you could do was accept her, like magnetism or gravity. Please describe from memory the following objects. Seating in the room behind you. Don't remember if there was a couch, but predictably austere. Lighting in the room behind you. Delicate. Air quality in the last room in which you fell asleep. I don't remember where I last fell asleep. Well, this Marquez is pretty normal so far. Oh yeah, they're definitely different people. I just wonder if they're related or something. I never imagined Weaver having any family, but I guess everyone has some family, right? Reading distracted? What? Oh, sure, probably. Okay, let's go on to the next test. A cat. Jen, look who it is. Aw, I miss that kitty. I forget what became of the white one. Her name was Coconut, and she disappeared without a trace. That's so sad. Easy come, easy go? I wouldn't say easy. I had to leave food on the dock for a week before she'd come inside. She only stuck around for a month or two. You probably saw quite a lot of her. I remember you were working nights then. She was a nocturnal creature. That's right, I remember. Am I giving the cat a treat? Wait, I don't remember this test. Oh. Did we cut this one? What's the questionnaire like? No, this is just... Sometimes if I can't make it in for a few days, I might leave a note to feed the cats. For the test subjects? Wow. How do you know they'll do it? I read it on University Letterhead. Jen, that is unethical. At least I don't use university property and research equipment to make weird video art. Very well then, I contradict myself. I wonder which is the nobler transgression. I'll settle that question. It is nobler to feed kitties. Oh, okay. This is before the CD players. I hope she remembered to rewind. They never did, and Daryl would be in all night rolling all these tapes back one by one in his little Walkman. Still has that thing. He says he uses it at the gym, but I think he's just too attached to his old mixtapes. He is so sentimental, our Daryl. These tapes had sounds from my apartment building. Did you know that? Oh? I thought it was stock sound effects from the library. Yeah, the CDs are, but when it was on tape, Daryl had me borrow a tape recorder from the music department, go collect them myself. He showed me a first draft of the questionnaire. I think some of them are still in there, like... Question: what were you thinking about immediately before listening to the tape? I was thinking about my job. Question: after the tape ended, how quickly did your thoughts return to that subject? It's like the game, you know? The game. If you think about the game, then you've already lost. I'd forgotten until just now. Right. I don't really get the point of that question. I think it's just there to set a baseline for the introspection index. So all the doors opening and closing, those are all from your apartment? I'm so sorry, Proto. You have to start over. Start your streak over. I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I also just lost the game. Most of them, yeah. Others are from the basement. We have these rows of storage closets down there. None of them are locked or anything. It's just like this weird row of doors. They're not even marked or differentiated. You have to keep count as you go and remember which one is yours. Mine is number 8. I went down there a little tipsy once, Sunday cleaning, a few glasses of wine. Okay, good. I'm glad I could make you feel a little better. We're both on square one. Anyway, I accidentally opened number 9 and it was full of mice. Like, for a computer, I mean. They were all neatly arranged on the shelves, organized by some inscrutable quality, cables tied with Velcro. The neighborhood mouse hoarder. A collector, I think. I guess he lived next door. I told Daryl we should add a question, something like, question: while listening to the tape recordings of doors opening, if at any point you have any expectation or visualization about what might be on the other side of one of these doors, please write it down. The first door. I thought it led outside. I was just curious, I guess, since it was from my building. Like, I have a strong sense of where these doors lead just by hearing them. But is that just from my memory, or is it inherent in the sound somewhere? Interesting. You should write a grant proposal. Oh, I wouldn't want to step on any toes, university politics. Oh, here's another extended monitoring tape from the waiting room. Busy night. There he is again, sleeping. Where do I know him from? It's gonna drive me up the wall. Does he work at the university? Oh, that sounds familiar. Yeah, I think he might have worked there a long time ago, maybe when I was an undergrad. The Paleolithic. Thought he looked a bit rugged. That's right, Jen. I went to college during the Stone Age. What was your major? Fire. I don't think he was a professor, maybe staff? It's been so long. Sometimes I wish I'd just barreled through like you did instead of taking time off before grad school. I'm sure it was the right thing to do at the time. Yeah, or the only thing. It was such a mess. Did I ever tell you about that? My boyfriend died suddenly in my last year of college. Oh, that's sad. Oh, poor thing. It's okay. It was a long time ago, but yeah, it really shook me up back then. He was studying astronomy. We were both really into experimental music. Took a few art classes together. That's so sad. How did... Sorry, never mind. Yeah, that's maybe not the best question to ask. No, it's okay. That's the thing, actually. I mean, that's what shook me up about it. It's just this random accident that never should have happened, and so sudden you never could have seen it coming. He was back home, visiting his parents, and he fell off a roof. Wait a second. Is this... What was his name? Charlie? Conway had a memory of someone, I believe it was this person named Charlie. And had a flashback of this memory, and like the tiles were slippery on the roof or something, and he fell. I think they're the same, if not connected. It's gotta be. Damn, I know what you mean. Can't predict that kind of, what do you call it, freak accident kind of thing. My psychiatrist says that's why I'm such a pessimist. Well, I think you're remarkably upbeat, all things considered. I mean, you know, that thing with your boyfriend and the roof, but also what happened to the TV station. Acts of God. You think? No, I mean, that's what you call it. That's what you say when it's nobody's fault. Very true. I have read them in my lease contracts for my apartment. It's so interesting to me. I don't think I believe in that. What? Acts of God? Yeah, but there has to be a word for when something completely shitty happens for no reason, right? I guess it's kind of archaic. Jen flips through the questionnaire. Question. First, please use the blank space below to describe your general feelings about television. If you have difficulty summarizing your emotions succinctly, or have too many different feelings to fit in the blank space, you may also use the back of this paper. Response. I have mixed feelings about television. Question. You were asked to watch several videos. How many of the videos did you watch? All of them. Speaking of the TV station, you were saying something earlier about that other Marquez girl. Oh, right. I was talking about Weaver. Yeah. What exactly happened with her? You said she left on weird terms? Yes. Well, so actually she just stopped showing up. That was pretty normal. It was all volunteers, right? Community television? Yeah, people didn't really give much advance notice. They just got bored and drifted away. It's more like an art project than a job for most people. Weaver Marquez helped manage the archives, like filing and sorting all tapes of broadcasts. I think she was pretty smart. She probably could have been more help fixing equipment or something. But she seemed content just to organize tapes. Nobody ever talked to her much, so when she left, no big deal. But then, a couple months later, we started getting these bizarre interventions. Question. The camera focused on a table, passed through a doorway, then focused on another table. Which object present on the first table was also present on the second table? The picture was too blurry to make anything out. You should have those VCRs professionally cleaned. I'm writing my number on the back of the page. Someone would be doing a show in their normal time slot, and then suddenly the feed would cut. We'd still be broadcasting, but our signal was totally jammed. Oh, like interference? I mean, total blackout. And this video would come on, clearly shot in our studio at some point, and it was her, Weaver Marquez. She'd be standing in the middle of the studio, facing the camera. Question. At the beginning of the video, you were asked to make note of a memory from earlier in the day and associate it with one of the objects on the table on screen. Which of the objects did you choose? The feather. Was this object present on the second on-screen table after the camera passed through the doorway? I forget. I don't think so. It's a bit fuzzy in my memory, but I do remember the sound. This awful hum, like that was how she did it. She made a hum so sinister it drove our signal into hiding. Question. You were asked to make note of a fond memory from childhood and associate it with one of the objects on the table on screen. Which object did you choose? The folded map. Was this object present on the second on-screen table after the camera passed through the doorway? I forget. I don't think so. Then there were these on-screen captions, exactly the same every time. I don't remember what they said. Something creepy. Wow. Question. The video began in one room and passed through a doorway into another room. In each room, a piece of music was playing. Was it the same piece of music in both rooms? Yes, they were the same. Question. Was the music in the first room optimistic or pessimistic? I think the music was optimistic. Was the music in the second room optimistic or pessimistic? I think the music was optimistic. We had a title maker at the station, but it was a different font. I guess she recorded it at WEVP and then took it somewhere else to add the captions? I don't know. We all did a lot of speculating about how she made the video, why she made the video. Yeah, why not just broadcast it normally? It was community television, right? Couldn't be any worse than Naked Banjo Guy. I don't know. Naked Banjo Guy sounds pretty fun to me. I feel like there are definitely plenty of things worse than Naked Banjo Guy. Yeah, exactly. Some people thought it was a protest or something, but I know she didn't have anything against the station. To me, it felt kind of urgent, like she would have done her broadcast through the proper channels, but something came up, a crisis or something. Question. The video began with footage of the outside of a building and then entered the building. Was it day or night outside the building? It was day. When the camera exited the building again, was it day or night outside the building? It was night. How often did it happen? A lot. Dozens of times. It went on for years. We even thought about asking the police to look into it, but it was so hard to locate a pirate signal. I mean, it could have come from any direction, you know? It's all just waves. Waves. Exactly. The camera passed through several doors with inscribed labels. Please write down the sounds you heard as the video passed through the doors with the following inscriptions. Travel. A diesel engine idling. Nourishment. Someone hammering on wood. Sleep. Music. Weaver's video showed up again right before the flood. Actually, I think it might have been the last thing we ever broadcast. Okay, location updating effect on emotional memory. These results are kind of confusing, actually. She's either very bored or just not taking it seriously. This test reminds me of one of your videos, Mimi. Sleepy, but kind of bored. A portrait of sorrow. So, yielded no new information. That's all that needs saying, I think. Damn, this is taking a while. Daryl will be heartbroken if this is the only box we get through today. Poor thing. He's like a paper butterfly. I would say a moth. It's your friend again. And Coconut. Oh. Seems relaxed. Wise Will. I can't believe it. What? That's what we called him. God, it's been a million years. He did work at the university when I was an undergrad. He hung around the music department, but he was sort of a general technician. He'd fix the PA, run the soundboard during the student theater productions, stuff like that. Student theater productions? Is there something you want to tell me, Mimi? Oh, no. I was just in the audience. They did some interesting stuff back then. In the Paleolithic. So you would shake the rain stick and crank the dry ice machine, huh? Why did you call him Wise Will? He was chatty. He'd tell you all about the school's architecture, local history, county politics, gossip, folk remedies. Like they were all part of the same thing. I always wondered what had happened to him. Well, now you know. He's part of our data. Yeah, just another data point floating down the echo. Who's she talking to? Test subjects are supposed to be talking to each other so we can compare their recall fidelity before and after the phone conversation. That's what I mean. He's not even on the phone. She didn't fill out the questionnaire either. Well, what did he write? He just drew a picture of the cat. Okay. Maybe she misdialed? She's been on the line for a minute, though. Is there tape? Of her conversation, I mean. Yeah, let's check it out. Huh. Yeah, that's my number, all right. You dialed correctly, but I'm not part of any research study. Hey, I'll tell you what. The phones have been bananas around here lately. I think the phone company is understaffed or someone's asleep at the switchboard. It is pretty early after all. I get up earlier than most. I've got to do my deltoid regimen and then cool down a bit before my morning swim. You know how it is. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you hang up and try dialing again? Hit the buttons real hard if you can. Maybe you'll wake them up and they'll connect you right. Yep, hello. You got me again. I'll tell you what, suits me just fine. My delts are cooling and the coffee's brewing. I'm just sitting here looking out the window anyway. Into the dark, I mean. The sun ain't even up. Sounds lonely. Well, not so lonely at the moment, is it? I'll tell you what, it's nice to hear another voice before the sun's up, and one that isn't making excuses or demands. You may have guessed by now, but I'm, Say, why don't you guess? Not guess, deduce. Take a closer listen to my voice and let's see what you think you can know about me. I mean, what do I look like? What do I like to do? And so on. Then I'll try you. Let me give you something to work with. What should I say? A phrase you can listen to and analyze. Say, I owe some people some apologies. I owe some people some apologies. Got it? Okay, what do you think? What kind of body makes a voice like that? You're solid, and your voice sounds like it could stop a truck. I hope I never have to find out. Can you hear what my teeth are like? You should be able to hear that. Every word I say has got to go right by them. Your teeth are sharp and your jaw is strong. You can probably tell by my clear, precise enunciation. No awkward breaks mid-word to catch my breath, and so on. What about a job? What do you guess my job is? You're an auto mechanic. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Alright, well, it's clear to me that you're well educated. You're hardworking. You have a respect for craftsmanship that borders on admiration. Sure, you're the hat check clerk at an ice rink. If you aren't, then I don't know a thing. How'd I do? Got a couple parts right. Well, it ain't a science. We're just trying to get in the neighborhood. I'm an orthopedics physical therapist by trade, specializing in post-surgical rehabilitation. I do all my intake interviews over the phone because I believe you can get a pretty damn accurate picture of someone's general health just by interfacing with them verbally. Now, many of my colleagues disagree. They think that the body is the body and the mind is the mind. Well, I'll tell you what, having worked in this field for nearly 3 decades, and seen all matter of evidence, I'm no longer sure I believe in the mind at all. Let me give you an example. I had a patient who lost his right hand to misadventure and infection. He worked in a factory, operating a delicate machine that required years of specialized training. So we focused on coordination and getting his left hand up to the speed and accuracy required for the work. I'll tell you what, after a couple weeks he was writing, throwing darts, you name it, all left-handed. A triumph of physical therapy. Back to work. The next day he was unemployed. Seems he sat in front of that delicate machine, reached out with his left hand, and just froze. Had no idea what to do with the thing. Next time he was in my office, he said to me, "Doc, when I lost that hand, all my memory of working that machine went along with it." He said, "I'll tell you what, Doc, if you ever learn a trade again, I'll learn it if I ever learn a trade again, I'll learn it in my gut. I won't ever again put something so precious as a memory in a place so vulnerable as a hand." Well, my coffee's done brewing. I'll let you go. Oh, look. Can you read the date? Damn, I can't read it either. It may not have even been current. I remember for a while we had a calendar up that was like years behind. I think Daryl liked the picture. What was it? Best friends. Every month there was a different pair of animals that were friends. Oh, that's cute. That's adorable. I think I'm gonna be sick. You don't remember that? That weird intern bought it in from home. What was his name? Who? Oh, you remember. He was always like... we would make fun of him for... Damn, he's almost completely gone from my brain. So many interns coming and going then. I guess I didn't bother even remembering their names. I wonder who was working back when this was recorded. Is there a tape of the monitoring room? Yeah, here it is. Oh, before we check that out, did she flip the calendar forward or backward? Forward. Oh, weird. They usually flip it backward. What is the point of all this? I'm not really sure yet. There she goes. Wait, did she follow them out? Oh. Well, here's the last extended monitoring tape from the dock when they left. Uh-oh. See, told you he was one of those distillery guys. I guess you were right. These other guys came to pick him up for work, maybe? I don't like how they all hang out together. It's creepy. We hang out together and work together. Yeah, but it's not... They're like more than coworkers. I don't know. I just get this awful feeling whenever I see them. Like I knew them once, but not anymore. Like when they make up a dead person to look like an old photograph of themselves. Sort of familiar, sort of strange. Yeah, exactly. There ought to be a word for that. I believe Uncanny Valley could work. Oh, they're gone. Bye, kitty. They look like nice enough people. I'm sure she's very happy with them. Yeah. So, this has been a bit of a memory trip for you, huh? I bet you didn't expect these old tapes to stir up so much. How does it feel for these people to come up again? Weaver Marquez and Wise Will, and what was your boyfriend's name? The one who died in college. Was it Charlie? Called it. Yeah, it's kind of bittersweet experience, actually. Like looking at photographs of people who have died or moved away. People that are gone. Gone, but not forgotten. No, not forgotten. You're right. Those easels and tables on the beach over there. They call it an open-air gallery, or probably something more upscale like alfresco galleria. They say it's a popular design in foreign cities like Paris and New York. That may be true. The appeal is clear enough, I guess. Anyone can wander in and out. There aren't any walls or doors. There's no roof either, just kind of thin cloth membrane. Not quite a sheet or a tarp, but more like a drape of rolled out spiderweb, looking like it might bunch up and dissolve if it ever got rained on. No concern down here for rain. Everybody thinks they're inside just because they can't see the sky, but it's a microclimate down here and it surely does rain. Right now they're exhibiting some intimate photographs of small town life. There's one of a small girl playing in a puddle. She's got her back to the camera and she's fussing with something, looking at her hands. Maybe she's stuffing a message in a bottle or folding a paper boat. Reviews have been good. It's a popular show, probably because of its relevance. The town depicted in these photos was very recently flattened to make way for a big museum project. Ezra helped Kate forage for mushrooms. Act 4, Scene 6. I think this is where we'll leave it for tonight, because it's past my bedtime. Okay. Let's see. If you've been lurking or if you've been chatting, come and hang out. I appreciate it. Thanks for stream. Thanks for being here, Proto. I appreciate you. I'm not going to read this. I'm not looking at it. Yeah, I had a good time. Lots of this. The plot felt a little slow this time, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I know there are only 5 acts in this game, so we're in Act 4, but I don't know if that's like a measure of how close we are to the end, because they're not really the same like length or anything. But yeah, if you've been in here, thanks for being here, and I appreciate y'all very much. Whether you've been lurking or chatting or a little bit of both. I did want to try to raid, but let me see if there's someone I would like to raid first. Give me a second. Let's go raid Cass. Cass is live right now. We can go say hi to Cass. I don't have a raid message, but maybe like if you wanna be in do something for the raid. Pick a few emotes that you like, a few cute, fun emotes that you wanna share, and we can go raid Cass. Let me see if I can figure out how to start this. I've never done this before, so give me a second. I'll find my emotes. I'm gonna use the Pride Cute. And we can do a little Kayla raid. But put whatever emotes you want, and we can go say hi to Cass real quick. Okay, let me start this. It looks like she's playing some Breath of the Wild, maybe practicing for the race that Camp Cozy is gonna do. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I appreciate y'all. And I will be live tomorrow, probably around the same time, 7-ish, 7:30. Going until she finishes a run or passes out. Wow, that's commitment right there. Okay. All right. I love y'all. Thanks for being here. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good night. Have a good rest of your night, and have a good rest, or have a good Thursday. I'll see you next time.